What's up, guys? We are here at MondayVation Talks, and we're so excited to have with us tonight Mr. Ryan Plaza, the Ryan Plaza. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, man?
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. This is exciting.
Absolutely. So we're going to chat over a cup of coffee, brother. Cheers it up.
Cheers.
That's good.
That's great.
So, Ryan, when I think of you, and according to several of your colleagues, they've described you in a certain way. Quote, when I think of self-starter, leader, and motivator, I think of Ryan Plaza.
Ooh.
What does that mean to you?
What do I think of that? For me, it's just, it's being resilient. It's being motivated, it's getting yourself going. And really respectable words, so humbled by it for sure.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So tell us a little bit about who Ryan Plaza is.
Nice. I like to break Ryan Plaza down in a sentence. I'm a global entrepreneur, speaker, and author. Somebody who inspires the world. I think everybody needs a push at times, and I just want to be there to be that push.
Wonderful. How do you push and motivate people, especially as a speaker? How do you find ways to engage with your audience and really motivate people?
I think for me, it's being vulnerable. Vulnerability is a big one for me. I think a lot of people out there and motivational speakers, they just put themselves in this space where we're untouchable and we're perfect. I think that vulnerability factor of just being real, being transparent, and being vulnerable. We all go through the same things, right? We're all battling the same issues, trying to overcome the same things. So I think for me, it's just being vulnerable and putting myself in that place. I've been there with you.
Right.
So it's that vulnerability factor for me for sure.
I love that. Vulnerability creates a connection. It helps people to relate to you better.
For sure.
I love that. So tell us a little bit about how you got started as an entrepreneur and a public speaker. What sort of sparked your passion and your love for entrepreneurship and public speaking?
Nice. For me, it was honestly in 2009. I got a multi-million-dollar mentor. He took me in underneath his wings. And I was always interested into business, but not to that extent, right? Just my background, where I was at, I didn't think that entrepreneurship was attainable. And then getting around him, it showed me that I could have a corporation, I could have my own business. And he just took me in. So for 2 years straight, I just literally 6 days out of the week, I would spend with this guy.
Wow.
Every single business meeting he had, any out-of-town trip, I was there. So that really just took it to a whole next level. Speaking, I would always get in trouble for talking, as you guys seen on set. I would always get in trouble.
You mean like in school, you would get in trouble talking in class?
Yeah, in class. I always got in trouble for just talking, and I love to talk. And I would write in my journals and everything, if I could get paid to speak, I'd be the happiest man alive.
Wow.
And that was my mantra over and over. And I think by just having that mantra, having that mindset, here I am, I get paid to speak.
So that was your vision early on, to make money just speaking to people.
Yep, it started with music, and it just transferred to, this is the way I'm going to make a living. So.
Wow, I want to touch on something you talked about a little earlier. You talked about a mentor. And I think a lot of times, many of us could find that a mentor or having someone to relate to professionally would benefit us, but we're not quite sure how to connect with the mentor. We're not sure, should we reach out to someone? Should we wait for someone to reach out to us? How did you get connected with your mentor who helped you so much?
I seeked it. I think, that question is always because a lot of my stories revolve around mentorship. For me, it's a multitude of things. One, it has to be a win-win situation. So even though that they're wealthy, they're connected, maybe an older person, and they want that young energy, they want that enthusiasm. So it doesn't have to be that you give them something. It could be just the energy and the aura that you provide. Now, as far as going out or waiting, don't wait for it. They're not going to come chase you. I've chased down mentors for 1.5 years straight. Literally, call them once a month, email them, and get around them. So I think it's really just finding somebody of who you admire, who you want to be. That's one of the fastest ways, I think, to accomplish what you want, is finding that person and then go after them. Whether it's, be persistent. In a true entrepreneur and business person, they'll understand that you're being persistent. So I have one story in particular. I literally chased down this guy for 1.5 years, emails, calls, pop up where he was at.
You just bugged him to death.
Yeah, bugged him to death, and it worked. This guy right now is one of my biggest mentors, pastor, very big influence on my life now. So just go after it and chase it. Don't wait for it.
Wow, that is so good. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone
to
really get what you want.
For sure, you have to ask.
Wow, and it sounds like you use that same sort of mindset in the entrepreneurship world as well, to start your own business and to ensure that it's a success. How do you sort of keep that passion, keep that fire going? I hear entrepreneurs say all the time, entrepreneurship is not easy. You have to be a certain type of person with a certain work ethic and energy in order to pursue entrepreneurship. How do you keep your fire burning for entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so early on for me, I was a hybrid. So I was still doing corporate and then dabbling into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I think when I went full on entrepreneurship, it was the hardest time ever in my life. There was months where I was literally making $700 a month, having a mortgage, car payment, and everything. So for me to keep that fire burning is just being inspired, right? And I think it was always being that person that made it happen. So don't show everybody else that you're down or you're out. It's just one of those things. Just keep going, because I always knew that at the end of the day, it would all pay off. It would all pay off, but I would have to, and I look at stories, right? There's never any successful person that I studied that didn't go through difficult times. So for me, that was always something that I would look back on and say, look at this guy, what did he go through? So there was no story where entrepreneurs just made it, right, free, clear, and it was a nice path. Very rarely. So for me, what would keep me burning is saying, okay, every great person faced adversity, but how am I going to respond to the adversity? And that was just it for me. So just staying hungry and knowing at the end of the tunnel there's light.
That's good. That's good.
For sure.
Ryan, you talked a lot about your own passion and your own drive within yourself. Who around you? Who's a part of your team? Who's a part of your family, your friends that help keep you motivated and grounded as well? That's important too.
Definitely. Well, I always talk about mentors. I have my first mentor. He's always in my ear, like, son, you need to be humble. You need to calm down. Or my pastor currently now, Dial Pori and Takoa Pori. They just, they're always in my corner. Whether it's like when I'm on the road, I'm calling them, they're calling me, and always just, be humble. My cousin who's on set, he's always, hey, you got to do this. So just, and I think that's important too, right? Having that support system of people who are going to be real, be vulnerable, and be transparent with you. Because you don't want a whole bunch of yes men around you that are just going to, say everything's right. You want people that are going to check you and say, hey, slow down.
Get it together.
Yeah, slow it down.
Right.
So I definitely think, my main mentor, Ron, and my pastors, they definitely just keep me grounded, and it's always one-on-one. So
that's awesome.
Great stuff.
Ryan, you've dropped some major nuggets tonight, some major gems tonight. Leave us with one thing that our viewers should take away as far as staying motivated, staying on their grind, staying passionate about what they do, whether they're happy in their job or want to transition. Give us one piece of advice we can take away with us.
Definitely. So I wear this little bracelet here. It's one of my great reminders. It's never let the highs get too high and never let the lows get too low. So when things are going great, obviously admire it, soak it, it's blessings, but don't get full of yourself. And when things are getting low, remind yourself that, hey, it's only going to get up from here. So never let the highs get too high, never let the lows get too low, and just be real with yourself and be you, right? I think we're a lot of people who are out there trying to be a carbon copy of somebody else. Me personally, I just want to have fun, man. I want to have fun, inspire energy, and just be you. I think that's important, man. Just be you, be transparent, and at the end of the day, it'll show off, it'll pay off, for sure.
So awesome. Just be you guys. Ryan Plaza, it's been my pleasure.
Thank you so much
for
and I brought you a gift too, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
New
rich.
New
rich.
Yes, I'm wearing this for pride. New rich, y'all. New money.
New rich. Cheers.
Cheers it up.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Ryan.
guys.